Hello relatives, friends, and friends of friends around the world. My name is Bearspottedbear. I'm from the Great Teton Sioux. I am the Director of International Native Indian Programs Incorporated. I am here to talk about the 500 tribes that died, the 100 million natives who got annihilated through what is called the PAPAL Bull and broken treaties. The PAPAL Bull is just a piece of paper that our native Indian people have died. And that's very, very hard to swallow when you know that your Indian people have died over a piece of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out the PAPAL Bull and we're going to acknowledge that PAPAL Bull. That PAPAL Bull, a lot of people would like to say you can wipe your behind with it or burn it and use it for cooking material. So here we go. I'd like to explain about this PAPAL Bull. This PAPAL Bull was started in 1059 by the Pope. I'd like to teach class in Facebook, start there, and so you can see for yourself who wrote the PAPAL Bull in 1059 and how there was no native Indian signature to that PAPAL Bull to give Christopher Columbus the right to come to the United States or do business in the United States on behalf of, at that time would have been 1,000 or 2,000 tribes. This PAPAL Bull has killed 500 annihilated 500 tribes, killed 500 tribes and annihilated 100 million natives, not including the World War I, World War II, and the current wars today. Our Vietnam veterans are some of the most honorable warriors in today's society. I will give them the utmost respect for giving their life for our freedom here today in what is called the United States of America. Our people live among drugs, alcohol, suicide, poverty, and genocide. Even our tribal president gets millions of dollars and turns her cheek to the tribal members of the Great Teton Sioux, the Oglala Sente Gleshka Oyate of Pine Ridge, South Dakota, where there's 44,000 people. Our federal government does nothing about it to put her in jail, and so what I'd like to do is have the grassroots help me to work on an international world lawsuit to sue the federal government on behalf of each and everybody who'd ever died. But in order to do so, we have to learn that PAPAL Bull and get the original document. This here is not the easiest thing to work on. Many a times I wanted to give up, lost many of friends, and I have gained many of friends. But if we can all work together and we can all agree that we love our Tioshbaye, our people, the way we say Madakia say, then we can all get along and we can work towards this PAPAL Bull. This will bring change among the great red nation. This will mean that we will seize everything across the United States, including the armed forces. We could lower alcohol to 5%, so what used to take 1 case of beer will now take 3 cases of beer to get the same effect. What used to be 50% and ruin our loved one's mind will now take, we'll charge it to 3% more. So if it was $7, it'll now become $21. I'd also like to get tough on our leaderships who betray us. That would mean me too if I betrayed our Indian people. I don't deserve to be a leader. I don't deserve for you to follow me. I understand that one of our native friends have told a friend of ours that I was using her for $3,000. And this friend has worked on this PAPAL Bull for 17 years, but not once was the Red Nation ever told. I'd like to be hard on those who manipulate the sacred burial grounds of Indian artifacts. A sacred ground like Bear Butte means do not bury your dead there. Lake Tahoe, do not bury your dead there. Paiute, Shoshone tribes, they pray there. Other places around the Great Red Nation, there's places to bury your dead and there's places to pray and have a good way of life. Instead, people come here for money, things, and first they come here for freedom, and then money, and then things, and then they're never happy, and they're always complaining. And we need to put a stop to that, because this here is it's not an easy topic to talk about. It's not I don't like anybody. The fact is that our Indian people have lived here for generations, and it's about time that we got heard, and it's about time that we stood up, and it's about time, if the federal government don't want to educate us, then we need to educate ourselves and help one another. And through that helping, we need to understand one another, to love one another, to care for each other. Because sundancing and humblecha and sweat lodges and peyote meetings, them things aren't easy, and them are the number one things they wanted to take from us. And they wanted us to become Christians, and they beat the heck out of our loved ones, and they took our language. Matter of fact, Muslims are learning our language to this day. Alcee Grey Wolf, he's a Muslim. He changed his name here in the United States so no one would know who he is. And he wanted me in jail. Actually, he wanted me in prison. He said I held him up at gunpoint. Now, these things need to change, and they need to stop, because this here is betraying our traditional ways. And every time something don't go right, they put us in jail. So if we learned our rules and we do it right, then we could make changes next. I hope.